So this one definitely does not work. It looks like they're using an old script. So I'm going to show you a way to do this to be able to stitch together multiple images. So let's go ahead and hit start. This one's going to be a bit different than what you've done before. So on here, this has a panorama, which is when you take a picture and then you overlap it and take a little bit more of the scene and a little bit more of the scene and a little bit more of the scene. Now, many of your phones now have the capability of stitching this stuff together automatically in camera, but when you're taking it with a non-camera phone, you have to do it this way where you're just moving it and you're going to overlap. Now, in order to get this to work, we need to actually strip these 4 layers out as separate photos. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Export, and we're going to go Layers to Files. What this is going to do is it's going to create 4 separate files, one for each one of these layers. So we're going to go ahead and do Layers to Files. That brings up this dialog box. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you browse to your Creative Cloud folder, and we're going to go to Graphic Design, Hands-On, and Composite. We're going to go ahead and click Open. And for the name, I'm just going to put in Pano for Panorama, and then JPEG quality 8 is fine. I'm going to do Run. Now, what this is doing is it's going through and it's copying each one of those pictures, putting them in their own document, and then actually saving them into the folder that you just into the file area you just created. So right here, let me go to, not sure why that's not showing. Give me a second. There we go, wrong window. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Creative Cloud, and now I'm gonna go to Graphic Design. I'm going to go to Hands-On, Composite, and now you see there's 4 individual files. What we're gonna do now is from Photoshop, we can go ahead and close this document. So I'm just pressing Command W. That will close, and I'm not going to save that one. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to File. I'm going to choose Automate, and I'm going to do Photo Merge. Now, when this comes up, it's giving me some options on how I want to set it up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on Auto. And now I need to browse to tell it which 4 photos I want to put together. So again, I'm going to click Browse, Creative Cloud Files, going to go to our class, going to go to Composite, and there are the 4 JPEGs. And I'm going to go ahead and, to highlight all of those, I just selected the first one, I held down my Shift key, and I selected the last one. By holding Shift, it's going to grab every photo in between the first time I click and the second time I click. And I'll click Open. So now I have those 4 files saying blend images together. I'm going to go ahead and choose this content aware fill transparent areas. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And let's see what this does. Because when it's stacking these, the outside edges may not actually line up. So by using the content aware fill, it's going to fill in the sky and parts of the other areas. So every single piece that's outside of this selection wasn't in the original photo. So this is kind of recreated. Now, if the edges look weird, so I'm going to take the lasso and just click away. If any of the, wow, that actually looks really good. If any of the edges actually did look off, you could go in and clone that, or you could go in with your crop tool and you could actually start to drag. If you hold your Option key when you drag, it changes things from the center. If you hold down your Shift key as well, it'll keep it perfectly proportional. So you could crop it. But for this, I think it actually did a pretty good job. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And that has now stitched things together. It actually shows you the masked areas. So that's what it originally looked like. And that's what the content aware fill did, which is pretty darn good. From here, go ahead and save your file, and that will be another one that you show me as opposed to showing me the check mark.